Into a 101, 201.
Woo!
Okay, excellent. Very good. Very
So,
good.
Larry, I was just going to ask you if you don't mind. So I know that you've done quite a few of these. Talk about what do you do during that's so beneficial to people just looking at the business or looking at nutraMetrix?
The 101, 201 or
Yeah.
discovery meeting specifically?
Well, a discovery meeting.
Okay, so-
what do you train in your 101?
Okay, great. So yeah, we're going to talk about the discovery meeting. Now, who here has ever done a discovery meeting with a health professional? It may have been a doctor, licensed massage therapist, chiropractor, acupuncturist. Yeah, you guys have done some of those. How was that? It was great. Okay, good. Usually people go, scary. So what we do in the 101 and 201 is we will dispel a lot of the myths around what the discovery meeting looks like, because what nutraMetrix has done is it's given us all the tools that we need for those meetings. We're not sort of flying by the seat of our pants. It's not off the cuff. Those of you guys who know me, I usually do that. But not when it comes to nutraMetrix. I really like to follow the system very specifically.
Exactly. I mean, that's the beauty about it, is you don't have to reinvent anything. There's a proven business plan. And we talk about, all right, so it's not just a sheet of questions, right? Because you want to really know, what is it like to sit down with a doctor? And we go through that about, if you're meeting with a pediatrician, you might not ask them, are they interested in anti-aging? Right? It's all about those little tools and tricks, right? To make it more personable, which is what it's all about.
So as I was saying before about utilizing the tools, so we have this incredible questionnaire that comes with the nutraMetrix training, and we're literally going to take that and use that when we booked the appointment with the health professional. So it takes all the guesswork out. It really becomes, it's a data mining session with the health professional, and it should be no longer than 15 minutes. If you're there longer than 15 minutes, you're probably there too long, and you may have said too much. All right, because that's always about, just like when you're building an unfranchise in any division, it's all about getting to the next appointment. And we do it very methodically with this discovery session.
Exactly. And we talk about this, that even if the health professional wants to give you a lot of time, your time's also very valuable. Just because they have a couple letters after their name, they're very smart, but you know what, we're all people. So respect their time, they respect your time. I never let a discovery meeting go more than 30 minutes, no matter what. Because you know what the whole point of the discovery meeting is? Book the next meeting, absolutely.
And to discover. What are we discovering? So it's really all there in the questionnaire. We're discovering first and foremost who this practitioner is and what's their vision for their practice, right? You want to you'll treat this meeting just like you would with any candidate you're sitting down with your business, except we follow the template of that questionnaire.
Exactly.
All right, so we're going to find out about the patient base. What does that look like? And it's going to look very different if you're sitting with a doctor with a large practice or a licensed massage therapist that may see 5 or 20 at the most clients per week. So it's going to vary a lot. And you're going to go down the list and you're going to let them talk. The more they're talking, the better you're doing.
Absolutely. And one thing I want to tell you guys about the 101 and 201s, absolutely great venue to bring healthcare professionals to. And if someone's just evaluating the business for themselves, or they might be a distributor and are not even interested in nutraMetrix, but want to build on that team, there's a lot of volume and a lot of EV that comes up through the organization with the healthcare professional. So the training really is for anyone that wants a 6-hour snippet to understand what it's about.
Right, I think so. A lot of times that's a big misconception with the nutraMetrix 101 and 201, that it's only for people who specifically want to be a nutraMetrix consultant or for health professionals. But I recommend that everybody, whether you're specializing in motives, cosmetics, or in the web center division, whatever it is, to come to one of these trainings, because not only is it a precursor to the large nutraMetrix consultant trainings, but it's also fertile territory to network with other business owners, but also because you want to build a team that's diverse. So let's just say you're someone that's specializing in motives, you're going to want some nutraMetrix consultants in your organization, even if it's not you. And that's one of probably the top reasons, if you're not interested in being a nutraMetrix consultant yourself, to come to the training is so that you can build an organization loaded, riddled with health professionals.
Absolutely. Does anyone have any questions for Larry or myself?
Question
Yes.
from the back.
Do you recommend doing the discovery meetings alone or going with someone else?
Oh, that's a great question. So, Sugala just asked, do you recommend going on the discovery meetings by yourself or with someone else? Absolutely with a partner. Even if that partner's not a nutraMetrix, they might just be one of your business partners or a friend. Great. I brought my wife with me. She doesn't know anything about nutraMetrix, but she loves the products, and she just sat there and said hi. But the biggest thing that's important about that is the other person has another set of ears, and that's why it's so valuable.
Also, I love going. I treat anything with my business, whether it's nutraMetrix or not. You always want to do things where you're training someone's learning from you, and you're learning from them. So going with a partner is going to provide you with that value. And also, if it crashes and burns, which happens sometimes, right?
Yeah.
That just might happen. I remember it happened to me more than once. And you walk out of that office and you get to laugh about it. But if you're there by yourself and you walk out of that office, you just might cry. And you don't want that to happen to you, right? So this happened to you, Harvey? Yeah. So if you go with a partner, you walk out, no matter how it went, you're either high-fiving each other or you're laughing about how that doctor just could not get the value, or she could not get the value. That's okay. And then you move on to what? Next.
The next meeting.
One. Exactly.
Awesome.
Any other questions from you guys? What else would you like to know regarding the 101, 201 day or the discovery meeting specifically? Any other questions about that? Because we can go on and on here about, yes? Great question. How do you get the practitioner you're meeting with to purchase a product from you? And that is, again, like we meet with any candidate, you're always looking to book the next appointment and to leave them with something. Of course, purchasing a product. And we're never giving stuff away for free. The only thing that I would ever give is maybe a daily essentials packet or two. And that's it. Because of course, that money is coming out of our pocket as in franchise owners. So ideally, getting them to purchase a product, and it's always about presenting them with the value. And I always ask the health professional I'm sitting with, beyond your patient base, what do you use personally? Do you take a multivitamin? Do you take any antioxidants? What's your diet like, doctor? And I let them talk, and I listen, and I file that away. By the end of the appointment, I'll say, oh, remember earlier when you said that you take a multi? What kind of multi do you take? Would you like to upgrade that? Okay, and that will lead to a sale. Now here's what we like to do also when it comes to that point, is to offer that practitioner, this time because we've met and you're evaluating nutraMetrix for your practice, I'm happy to offer you a bottle of OPC3 or whatever product it is specifically you're talking about at my cost. Okay, not for free, guys. Remember that, I didn't say as a gift, I said at my cost. Which products would you like to try? And then they might really say, well, I want to try this and this. Oh, that custom cocktail sounds really interesting to me. Let me try that as well.
Yeah.
Okay?
And the other thing I would add too that I started doing is instead of giving them the packet, mix it right there. Those little bottles of water, that's 8 ounces. Always have those in your purse.
Yeah, so add a personal element to it. There's nothing better than doing shots with the doctor.
Exactly.
Make it fun. Remember, when you are having this meeting with these health practitioners, they're probably like at a really stressful day, whatever it is, so they may want to laugh a little bit. They want to get to know that you're someone they're going to want to have hanging around their office. Right? So you want to make sure that you're being that person. Be your best self. I mean, that's just, a rule in general.
Yes.
Especially for those discovery meetings.
Yeah.
Other questions, you guys? Harvey?
The discovery meeting questionnaire is great. I was just wondering if y'all had any tips or extra strategies or anything that you've found over the years that's a little bit more successful, just a little bit, a tidbit of information that we would steal, or that I could steal.
So Harvey's question is, so we have the questionnaire, which is really incredible and very thorough, but what other tips, strategies do we use within that meeting to get to the next appointment, right? Or to move things forward? Now for me, and I'll let you touch on this next, but for me, it's always about building that rapport with whoever's in front of me. And it's about getting to know maybe a little bit about their personal life. You have to look around that office. Maybe there's a picture of the doctor's family sitting on the or on their screensaver or on their desk. Notice something about the office that you could touch on. I remember having a meeting with one of my colleagues. We went in for a discovery meeting, and it was a female doctor, and she had a face full of makeup. And my business partner, who's also a nutraMetrix consultant, said, "I love your makeup." I just sat back and I watched this. It was kind of awesome. She was like, "I love your makeup. What do you use?" And by the end of it, by the next time we had the appointment, because there was another appointment set up, this business partner of mine brought a bunch of Motives Cosmetics with her. This doctor not only opened a nutraMetrix account, but fell in love with Motives Cosmetics. So don't forget that doctors are human beings, right? And they may wear makeup, or they may use skincare, or wash their hair, or have a dog, or have a car, or need a new website for their practice. You have to keep open to everything that's going on.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it was funny. I met with an internal medicine doctor, and she knew about isotonic, loved it, couldn't wait to start looking at things and getting her account started. And she's looking through the catalog, and she goes, "You have skincare? Oh my God, my patients are going to love this." Never would thought that from an internal medicine doctor. But to answer your question too on a little bit of my take with the discovery meeting is we have what we call a pre-qual form worksheet, and that's where you're going to go on, find out as much as you can about that practice beforehand, and then you're going to customize the discovery meeting. You know, I think 80% of it is very standard, but 20% of it, you've got to make it you, right? You've got to gear it towards that practitioner. Now, if they're a naturopath that's using supplements, you're not going to ask them, "Have you ever thought about supplementation?" You know, so you have to do your homework before you go into that meeting.
This is a good point, because a lot of people ask, well, what if they already have supplements in their practice? That to me is gold, because that already takes off the table. I don't have to convince, not that I ever try to convince anybody of anything anyway, but I don't have to convince them that supplements are a great idea. They're already in that space. So now it's just about expanding their offerings and possibly upgrading what they're using. Isotonics is really a game changer for a lot of these practitioners that may carry only pills and capsules.
Exactly. Right, and asking that simple question, do you have a certain percent of your patient base that does not like to take pills? Every practitioner says yes, and that's where we come in.
Other questions from you guys? Anything else you're dying to know? Burning questions, yes.
What do you get? I got hit with this question about California in the prophecy and our supplements being
Okay, so there's different states have different standards, and in California they have Prop 65?
Yeah, it's really strict.
I mean, are you in California? Oh, then what do you care? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Built locally. Where are you from?
Orlando area.
Orlando. Okay, cool. They don't have Prop 65 in Orlando. Well, I'm going to see you next month in Orlando, aren't I? Very good. So there are different laws according to states. Get to know what they are and know how to field that, okay? I can't talk here all day, so you need to know specifically what those laws are. Where New Jersey has certain laws, California has certain laws, Florida. Do a little research before you go into a specific doctor if you feel like that might come up, and just be armed with it. If you don't know the answer to something, you say, "Doctor, that is a great question. I'm going to get you an answer to that." It's a great reason to have to follow up again with that practitioner.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
All right, gang.